Hello everyone, Prion here, today with a video in which I am going to suggest 2 or 3, or maybe 1 if the killer is really balanced, changes for each killer in Dead by Daylight. Some of these are buffs, some of these are nerfs, some of them are just straight up reworks. So we should get a really diverse cross-section of ideas today. So let's get right into it with the first killer, the iconic poster boy, the Trapper. The first and most obvious change to the Trapper is to make the Trapper bag add-on base kit. Trapper will start with all of his traps. This will completely remove the whole I have to use Trapper bag or else I have to spend 3 gens picking up my traps, sometimes from the corners of a giant map like Grim Pantry, and just doing absolutely nothing just to be able to use my power at all, and that power isn't even that good. Secondly, a quality of life change. I would shade the color of his trap based on the map. This would fit his lore as being a meticulous hunter, and it would also increase his quality of life on newer maps that have little to no grass and or bright color schemes, such as Coldwind maps and Eyrie of Crows. Alright, moving on to the Wraith. The Wraith is pretty balanced. The only thing I would do to make his quality of life a little bit better would be to give some form of his Shadow Dance add-ons base kit. I think that's the one where you can vault and break things faster while you are cloaked. For Billy, I would completely remove the overheat mechanic. Dead by Daylight has had a lot of power creep ever since Billy, quote-unquote, needed a nerf and got the overheat mechanic to his chainsaw. I think it's high time that we straight up remove that so Billy can become more of a force in the meta and just overall more enjoyable to play. It's really been too long. You don't see Billy's very much at all anymore, and it's easy to see why. He's very frustrating to play. So many things have gotten stronger and he has been left in the dust and even nerfed while he's down. So please, remove overheat. We don't need it anymore. Moving on to everyone's favorite killer to face, the Nurse. My first change would be the ever so popular, you've probably already heard this before, turn her second blink hit into a special attack to remove its interactions with Jolt, Starstruck, Eruption, well not Eruption actually, that would still work, any other basic attack perks and exposed effects, forcing the Nurse to actually hit her first blink in order to take advantage of those very strong perks. The second change I would make to her is to afflict her with blindness while she's breathing in and holding her blink. This would fit in with her lore since she has a bag over her head all the time, and it would also decrease her synergy with certain aura reading perks and maybe free up the whole bottleneck that she is to the design of the game in general. Maybe if she's a little bit worse with those like chase-oriented aura reading perks, then maybe other killers will be able to get more success out of those perks because there might be a little bit more room to actually make them strong. Moving on to Huntress. This isn't really so much of a balance change as it is a personal gripe. Please update her lullaby. I haven't even been playing Dead by Daylight for more than a year and I'm already tired of it. It's so repetitive. Maybe give her a new one or add some new parts to the original one so that there's more variety. And then also, I think her arm should get tired if she holds a hatchet for too long. Like, it's just kind of boring for her to just walk around a loop slowly holding a hatchet for like 30 seconds. Yeah, it's not a good strategy, but I think it encourages poor play. Moving on to Michael Myers. The stock limit per survivor should be removed unless that survivor has crows. I believe that the stock limit was first implemented to stop people from like taking advantage of his stalking and giving him tier 3 if they're trying to throw the game. But honestly, if someone's trying to throw the game, they're going to try to throw the game, and that's not really going to affect whether they can sandbag their team or not. So remove the stock limit per survivor. I would put a visual warning if he's in tier 3 with tombstone add-ons, and I would also let him kill survivors in lockers with tombstone only if they have been sitting in the locker for a long time, so that Evil Within add-on, or that Evil Within achievement is a little bit more easy to get, because right now it's one of the most frustrating things in the entire game. Either let him kill people in lockers with Tombstone, or remove that achievement. Next up is Hag. Now this is more of an interesting one. I would straight up remove Flashlight Trap Destruction. Survivors, I think, to destroy a Hag trap should have to crouch near the trap and then perform an interaction similar to what you do to destroy Demo's portals. Going from crouching to performing the interaction would not trigger the trap. If you were to stand up before doing the interaction, then the trap would trigger, of course. Then also, I would increase her base kit teleport distance to balance her for bigger maps that have come out since her release. Next up is Doctor. I would give his Calm add-ons base kit to cement him more as like a terror radius augmenting killer. And I also think that the Doctor illusions should move around and do things like fake lunge, fake kick gens, etc. to maybe trick newer survivors into like throwing pallets or getting off the gen or something like that. Alright, moving on to Bubba. This one's pretty simple. I think I only have one change for Bubba. Bubba should not be able to rev his chainsaw within X meters of a hooked survivor. Clearly this is a solution to face camping Bubba. However, I believe it also fits his lore. Bubba in his lore, in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, is somebody who does not like killing. In fact, seeing people dead makes him very sad and angry. So if he is near a hooked survivor, it should make him so sad that he can't rev his chainsaw. Next up is Pig. Very simple. Pig needs to walk faster while crouched. She is slower than the Nerfs while crouching right now. That's unacceptable for a killer that's weak. That is that weak. And also, she should be able to stand up a little bit faster. That's just a quality of life change. Make that brown add-on base kit. Now is the time for Clown. I think Clown's yellow and pink bottles should have different ammo stacks. They should reload individually to compensate for the increased ammo. And then, you know what, I would just remove Pinky Finger. I don't think it's healthy for the game. Make it something different, like something else that reduces his amount of bottles but makes them stronger. But the exposed effect is just kind of silly. Like, yeah, Clown isn't that strong, but it's just, I don't think it's good design, and it's not fun to play against for anybody. Alright, next up is Spirit. A few changes here. I would make the Furion add-on base kit, the one where survivors can't discern the location that she's coming from. Now, I know this is how she was before the nerf, but I have some compensatory nerfs to make up for that. Straight up remove the mother-daughter ring. It doesn't need to exist. Change her eerie add-on into something else. I think that would compensate for the loss of the directional sound. Then also her husk. I think her husk while phasing should negatively affect survivors that are standing near it when phasing ends. Maybe have it blur vision like, I don't know, like a clown bottle, but with a little spirit touch to it. Or have it fill the survivor's ears with phasing noises for a short time. I think that would just be thematically cool. Yeah. Okay, that's it for Spirit. Next up is Legion. Now, I don't know what I would do for Legion other than a complete and total power rework. Mending Simulator should not exist. And then also give Joey and Susie their own voices. That's all I have for Legion. Now I'm pointing out the problems for Legion, but I don't have the solutions because I'm not a game dev. All I know is that I hate mending. Plague, perfect as is, no changes. I legitimately can't come up with anything to make Plague better or nerf her. She's just overall very well balanced. Ghostface, hooked survivors should not be able to reveal Ghostface. Survivors should be able to reveal Ghostface from further away in general. If you can see Ghostface, it doesn't make sense that you can't reveal him. Demo. He should be able to move faster while channeling Shred, and I think Shred should be balanced so that it can consistently jump off of tall objects to add a little bit more skill expression to his kit. Oni. Survivors do not need to have a global sound effect when he starts a demon dash. I think the extremely loud roar when he activates Blood Fury is more than enough, Survivors should be able to tell, yes, he's going to be going very fast and maybe coming here. One last change, this isn't so much for Oni, but more of a quality of life change for Survivor. If you're using no mither, I think you should drop only 1 blood orb per drop against Oni. Because as it is right now, if someone is unlucky enough to go against Oni while using no mither, it's just infinite blood, and that's not fun. Deathslinger. I would revert his ADS speed to somewhere in the middle of what it is now and what it was before the nerf. Then I would remove his useless add-ons, such as the 1% movement speed while aiming down sights, the reduced terror radius while aiming down sights add-ons. Just get rid of those, rework them, make them better. Pyramid Head, complete add-on rework. Keep his range add-ons and his duration add-ons, everything else must go. He needs a rework on 80% of his add-ons. They are so bad. Then I would also give him better turn control during Rites of Judgment. This is not necessarily a pressing matter, like Pyramid Head is fine, I just think this would be a good quality of life change for him. Blight. Add-on pass to nerf his broken add-ons like Compound 33, Alchemist Ring, Compound 21, Adrenaline Vial, etc. And then I would also reduce Blight's lunge turn radius while rushing. Make him actually be precise with them, no more sliding around corners while rushing. He's supposed to go in straight lines, and I think his kit should reflect that. Twins. Reduce the swap block timer after downing someone with Victor. That would just make them feel better to play overall. Also, allow Charlotte to recall Victor more quickly if he's being taken for a ride by a survivor. These are just like speed changes that would make the twins feel more fluid to play. Trickster. I should be able to use main event when I want to use it. However, not within X meters of a hooked survivor. I would put some form of his pierce through add-on base kit also, and then give him a little bit longer fatigue after main event to compensate for being able to hold it. Nemesis, complete and total add-on rework. He's the only other killer in the game that has as bad add-ons as Pyramid Head. And then another interesting change for Nemesis, I would have infected survivors passively attract zombies towards them. That would just be another fun interaction with his infection, because right now it's really just they cough and the tentacle can injure them. Like, no, that's a little bit boring. There could be something else thematically there. Pinhead. I think Pinhead's chains should take longer to break the longer his chain hit was, because right now it's completely useless to shoot people with the chain, like outside of direct chase. You should be rewarded for going for cool shots with Pinhead, without having to use Engineer's Fang. Additionally, there should be a ramping sound effect once the chain hunt reaches 75% progress until it, starts, similar to the noise that plays when the Dredge's nightfall is about to happen. This would just be a quality of life change to show survivors, hey, go do the box. It's almost going to happen. Artist. Survivors should be able to destroy crows by running into them. Like, if you run into a crow from behind, that shouldn't give you birds, I don't think. Also, I think crows should still be able to damage survivors within 8 meters if they go through a wall. Right now, going through a wall completely disables the damage. I think this would add maybe different playstyles to Artist, rather than just setting birds at a loop and hoping the survivor doesn't hold W. Onryo. Half her TV cooldown. Have it. Take it from 100 to 50 flat. 100 is just ridiculous. I know thousands of people are saying this, but I'm saying it again. Additionally, I would triple the time that it takes to put a tape back into the TV to prevent fully condemned survivors from literally returning the tape in her face. That's just bad game design. Lastly, I would make it so that doing a gen near an active TV, aka being there for 90 seconds in the radius of the cursed tape, should give you 1 point of condemned over time. Survivors need more incentives to touch the tapes, so I think actually having a base kit bad effect of being near the cursed tape would maybe encourage survivors to maybe get those tapes moving and think a little bit more about being condemned. The Dredge. teleporting should target the unlocked locker in the double pairs of lockers. That's pretty simple. But I would also reduce his ambient slurping noises that he makes while in Nightfall and in general. He basically has a lullaby with those noises if you listen for it. I'm not talking about like the crying and screaming noises that you hear in Nightfall. He has an audible like walking noise that he makes if you listen for it. And it kind of makes it really easy to tell where he's coming from in Nightfall when he's not teleporting. Freddy, total add-on rework, total Dreamworld rework. I don't know what to do with his add-ons, but for the Dreamworld, there's so much creative stuff they could do that they just seem to not do. For example, say you're in the dream world and the exit gates are powered. Like, it's a dream. The exit gates could show like full lights, but it's not powered at all. Or like a gen could look like it's 99 when it has 0 progress. Or maybe a hooked survivor is in one place but actually they're in another place because you're dreaming and you didn't get to your clock. Maybe these effects could ramp the longer you don't go to your clock, because right now survivors don't care about the clocks at all. Like, you could have fake pallets, fake snares, illusions of Freddy, like the longer that you stay in the dream. I think that would make him a lot more interesting and fun to play and play against. Lastly, we have the newest killer, the Mastermind, Albert Wesker. I think he should be able to use his second power token after power vaulting if he wants to. That would just be a little chase change for him. And then I think Infection should also do something before full infection is reached, because right now, infecting somebody doesn't actually do anything until it reaches full infection, which gives them the hindered and the insta-grab. So maybe that one would be a little bit too OP. Like, I don't feel confident exactly about that last change, but I do think he should be able to use his second dash after power vaulting. So that is all of the killers. Let me know what you think in the comments. What if these changes were good, bad, if you agree, disagree, or have any of your own for a specific killer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all later.